Okay, so when I was making the t-shirt, as you probably saw in the other video, I actually turned it into the jacket. So now I'm just gonna make the t-shirt. So I just made, basically I'm just gonna make a quick, just a plane from a cube. So just use as a guide. I did think about making a t-shirt, but because of the tight fitting of the jacket, it would be very hard to actually get it really small. And seeing that it's on the jacket, it would be a waste of time for this project to actually create the whole of the t-shirt. If it was for a client or for an animation and it maybe takes the jacket off, then of course I would make the t-shirt. But seeing it's just a model which is going to stand there in a different pose, I don't think there was much point in creating the whole t-shirt. So what I did is I'll hide that for a minute. I'll quickly name it so I know what it is, just to make it look nice and tidy. I'll turn the visible off for that one. So I simply got the model. I actually had that one on, so the jacket. Then I went into normal view. If I just quickly select that and make sure it's actually in line. Like that. I could have centered the pivot for that. Okay, why didn't? Yeah, so if I go on to modify center pivot, I can do it that way as well. Then I can go that one onto cube. I brought the cube up a bit, and I made it more or less kind of size which I wanted it to be. So probably looking around maybe a bit bigger, like that. Then I can make it smaller or bigger later on in the process. So I actually have a cube and all I wanted is just one face of it. So just select all the faces except for the top one and I delete them. So now I just got that one big face. Then what I did is I went into Insert, Edge Loop tool, and just added some edge loops. Just a couple to give me enough room to play around with them. Just a little bit smaller at the top. Okay, then all I did is I just tried to push it on the model quite carefully. Then I selected them too, then went in a tiny bit. At this moment in time I didn't really want to cut into the model so that it wasn't overlapping, because I will do that stage in a minute. Then I just keep moving them up, put that in a bit so let's start the definition. Then I just moved it up again, but move this one in a bit more. Now this is where I've got two options. I can either move that one up like so, yeah, like that, and then go into edge, grab that edge and just extrude it down. So I can do it like that. So let's put one there. That's gonna have to go out a bit. Something like that. Or what I could have done, if I move that edge down a bit, So these are two main methods I actually used in my whole modeling process. I just go for insert edge loop tool. Or if I wanted to make multiple ones, I can just go for offset, which gives me two of them. I probably don't need that many, so I'll just delete one. That's fine. Then I'll just go into vertices and delete them. I should delete the ones which I don't want. Let's do that again. Okay. Yep, so now we have that little definition. Just gonna maybe move that in a tiny bit more. And the bottom one we might actually not need, so I'm just going to faces and just delete the bottom face. Then what I did is I object mode, put that in a bit. So now you can't see the torso of the character, but you have this overlapping. So very simply, I just run into vertices, make sure I hit the right model. Then just one point at a time, just put it backwards. Yes. So as I was saying, I'm just gonna put them back. So at this point, what I'm trying to achieve is to make sure that it doesn't actually stick out onto the thing. Might have to move them in. That might be the issue with that, yeah. So I'm gonna have to go back to the top ones and change them in a couple of seconds. The reason why I'm not hiding the jacket for is because I need it for my guideline. Otherwise, I'm not going to get it spot on and correct. So as you can see, a bit of the torso actually sticking out. So what I will do is after I've done this bit, is that I will actually go back and just change that to just to make sure that you can actually see the jacket. I actually remember what I did. I actually did something else before that, didn't I? I did. So I'm going to bring it back out for a second, and what I'm actually going to do is as going to 1, became mode in 3, and you never want to model in 3. Then just grab that line, then just move it along a bit. What I'm going to do is just edit them, because they're not in the right place. Just hit G on the keyboard to redo the action I just did. Object mode, and then I'm just going to put it back where it was. But as close as I can anyway. Okay. So that didn't go too well. So what I'm gonna do, just restart again. So I'm now gonna just repeat the same steps as I did last time. So there, what happened, I accidentally selected the like template model I actually made for my character, so it's a lot easier for me to visualize what I was actually doing. I accidentally clicked that when I was actually moving my little template. What I should have done is I should have just quickly deselected that rather than actually moving at the same time, because I might have accidentally selected some points on here, and I don't want that at all. Right, I'm going to start moving points which I don't want. Right, geometry anyway, which I did not want to move. So in the T-shot I don't really want too much detail either. So then just get that line and just define it a bit more like I did last time. Like that. Okay, so now I got that again. And I just simply just move it back. Maybe that way a bit more. And there we go. Now we're more or less the step where we was before. Just going to force with these. Then just start moving them out a bit into the model. So I can't see them. I just clicked through them. Okay, I want to move these points as I'm. Actually, no, I don't want to be doing that. You should never move points or do modeling in soft mode. Well, in free mode, as it shows you what it looks like in it, like a high polygon count. So just keep moving them back. Okay, at this moment I haven't really been too careful. On my actual one I was a lot more careful with this process. But this is just showing you how I did it. So for the T-shot, the only thing that then be in that is my texture. Yeah. What I will be probably doing in Photoshop, as that is the more professional way to do it, and it's done more in the industry, especially in terms of video games anyway. And I know they've done that for games like Astion and Super Meat Boy, and games and them kind of blind. Yep. So just very easy thing, just keep moving them in until you can't see them. I'm going to hit 2, and that shows me what it looks like on 1 and 3. This should just give me a better idea of what it will look like when it's actually done. I think I just moved the point where I didn't want to then. So just quickly undo that one. I'm just going to keep moving them back. Okay, so that's that done. Then what I did is I hit the T-shot again, and I made sure that this isn't interfering with the actual torso of the body. So now I'm just going to quickly move that a bit. So I want it to be a bit of a V-neck, so I can start to do that here as well. Just like that. Maybe move that in a bit. Then I can do that. Yeah. Then on my actual one, I just added more detail in that part. I also made that come around a bit more, give it more of a defined shape, so I just actually bent it around the body a bit more. Yep, so like that, I just continue doing that. Then what I did is I went onto Outliner, Richard Window Outliner. So just here. So that's the one I actually finally did. So I just gave it a lot more detail, just defined it a lot more. Now if I put my jacket back on, and if we delete this one, because we no longer need that, and if I just put that one over the top, as you can see, that's more or less perfect. Just 1 or 2 points there, which just needs going a bit. Like that. So now I'm just tidying up now to make sure that it doesn't actually hang over too much on the outside. As you can see, it's still a bit thingy, so what I'm going to do now is turn that off again. So it's quite a lot of going backwards and forwards, but I'd rather do this than create a whole t-shirt where you'll only be seeing the front of it for this project. So the issue is that one there, so just move that up a bit like that, up a bit like that. Okay, so there's still a tiny issue in that bit there. Just really slight movements now, just to actually make it look okay. Then I'm pointing it out what to play. Oh, there we go. So you can still see some points when you go quite far out, but when I hit 3, it's more or less invisible. What I could do is I turn that off for a minute, so you can still see little holes in it. So what I'm actually going to do, get off that one, go into this one, and just make that a bit more defined. So yep, now I'm just going to add some detail into it, just by making it a bit more of a V-neck. Get down a bit as well. Something like that. And I'm just going to bend that around a bit more once it lets me. Do the same for the other side. Just keep doing that, really. Going to 1 again. Well, that's not the 3 there. That needs to go up a bit. That needs to go up a bit. So, yeah. There we go. Then press 3, and then that's more or less the body of the t-shirt. Got a good bit of definition. Might need to go in a tiny bit more on the stomach. Yep, so that should do that one. Then if I put the visible, the t-shirt on again, as you can see, you can't see any overlapping bits. It's quite nice and tidy. And then you can just see that bit of detail there. What I could do, I could add an edge loop tool there. That way, I can just bring them 2 points down a bit more, out a bit more, down a bit more, out a bit more, just to create a bit more of a V-neck. Then what I can do, I can add offset. I actually want to see what I'm doing for this bit, so okay, why didn't that let me do there? That's right, maybe. Okay, object mode, t-shirt, off. It wouldn't let me do it before because I was still on the offset loop tool, so it wouldn't let me complete the transaction what I wanted. Now I'm just going to hit G, and I want that to be a bit more closer, like that. Then if I hit 3, hit off the button again and press 3, offset loop, it creates a bit more definition in there, just like that. Then I can go into t-shirt, press 1, and then there you go. Bit more, just adds a bit more detail to it, and just makes it look a bit more professional. What I can also do is just go into edge loop tool, just grab the top and add some just tiny bit more detail to it. So extrude, then hit that one there to center it, then go in a bit more. Okay, that actually extruded it. That's right. So when I did that, I'd actually still in the 3, which didn't work, as it did not the actual modeling tools. And just add in a bit more. If it cuts into the model, it isn't too bad, so that is just a template. So once again, the audience won't be seeing that. If it was for a TV show or a film or an animation or video game. So just like that. Then just add a bit more detail, a bit more of a V-neck, and then when it comes to the texture, I can give it a different colour, and then it will stand out a lot more. I can also just go to the bottom, turn that one off again, and I'll rename that in 2 seconds so I don't get confused what it is, as this is the proper t-shirt and that's the jacket. Edge, grab all the edges along the bottom, make sure I got all of them, make sure that all I got, which it is. Then press G on the keyboard to repeat the last action. Then R to scale it, then just scale it in a bit. Then I can extrude it again if I want to, and then center, then up a tiny bit. So it just adds a tiny bit more detail to it, as you can see. Just there, that is a tiny line right there. But yep, there we go. So you can see the faces at the bottom of the t-shirt. So that would hide when around that problem. When I made the proper t-shirt, it, as you can see, it had to be very small for the jacket. When I made the jacket bigger, it looked too big. So obviously, if I were making it for a animation or film where they took the jacket off, I'd have to remake the jacket. But seeing this is just a model, which is to be standing still, more as a piece of art rather than an animation or a moving object, then be more static, then it isn't as important. But yep, so that's how I got around that problem.